Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nurul Fatehha. I'm from English Education Department of Universitas Riau, and this occasion I would like to present you my thesis entitled An Analysis of Students' Readiness in Blended Learning Implementation at the Department of English Education of Universitas Riau. Okay, this thesis consists of 5 chapters, and the first one in the chapter 1 is background of the problem. As 2022 is the recovery page of educational system, blended learning become a hot topic after a long time of online learning that draining students' mental issue. According to Horn and Staker 2011, blended learning enables students to direct their own way with online technology while also following with a face-to-face interaction. The implementation of blended learning itself is based on the degree of rector on March 2022 about the use of limited face-to-face classroom or pertemuan tatap muka terbatas, but the transmission to online class after 2 years of the pandemic to the blended learning brings some issues for the students. The first one is the student felt hard to control their self-discipline, and they need to gain their social skill because 2 years of pandemic make them cannot meet with their friends and the lecturers. And the second one is the students still have the willingness to still use online learning because online learning also give them many benefits, but there is still lack of technical support like connection and quota. And the third one is the unpredictable post-pandemic will take place, make it is very necessary to know first the readiness of blended learning so that the blended learning can continue played in the future. So according to Adams 2022 also state that it's very important to identify the students' readiness, competence, and need first before the implementation of this model. Okay, we come to the formulation of the problem. In this research, the formulation of the problem is how is students' readiness in blended learning implementation at the Department of English Education of Universitas Riau, and the objective of the research is to investigate the students' readiness in blended learning implementation, and the significance of the research is the finding is expected to be valuable for those who concerned in teaching and learning English. And the second one is it is expected to be theoretical foundation for the development of the theory of language teaching. And in chapter 2, there are theoretical framework, relevant research, and operational concept. The first one, there are 3 theoretical framework. The first one is readiness, blended learning, and students' readiness in blended learning implementation. In readiness, I used to theory from Slameto 2010 and Matt Dobbs et al. 2000. And blended learning, I used Friesen 2012. And students' readiness in blended learning implementation, I used the theory from Sriwijaya 2020. According to Slameto 2010, he revealed that readiness is overall condition of the person who make them ready to respond a certain way. And blended learning, according to Friesen 2012, blended learning requires physical presence of the students and teacher, and some session when students control over time, place, as well as technology and educational material for online interaction. And according to Sriwijaya 2020, she categorized 7 aspects of students' readiness in blended learning, such as online learning, online interaction, technology, classroom learning, learning flexibility, learning management, and readiness for blended learning. And next is relevant research. There are 6 relevant research, and I found some gaps. The first one is participant, location, and topic. The first one is participant. Okay, according to the 6 previous research, there's still lack of research that focus on the English education student at the university level. So that's why I want to conduct the research in the university level, especially for English education students. And the location, because previous research, most of them was not conducted in Indonesia. So that's why I want to conduct this research. And then the last one is about the topic. There is still lack of research that investigate in depth about the students' readiness in blended learning implementation in the post-pandemic COVID-19, especially in 2022. And next is operational concept. In operational concept, I use the theory from Sriwijaya 2020 that there are 7 aspects of students' readiness in blended learning that I have explained to you before. And then the next is chapter 3. In research design, this research is quantitative research, especially descriptive quantitative survey method as the research design in this study. And then I conduct this research on October until November 2022 at the Department of English Education of Universitas Karyau. And then the population and sample of the research. The population of the research is the students batch of 2019, 2020 and 2021. The total of the population is 355 students, and in taking the sample, I use the simple random sampling, and the sample size is determined based on the Cohen et al. 2007 with 183 students as the sample and use sample size calculator from surveysystem.com. And then technique of data collection, I use questionnaire that adapt from Sriwijaya 2020. There are 7 indicators with the total question is to 28, and then have 5 Likert scale: strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. And before I use this questionnaire, I try out 30 students from English Education Department to make the validity and reliability using SPSS 25. And then technique of data analysis, use descriptive analysis in analyzing the data with the use of Microsoft Excel and SPSS application. And to calculate the score, the researcher used the formula from Sugiono 2011 by using the formula that you can see in the screen, and then make the criteria from criteria of the percentage questionnaire by Ridwan 2011 with 5 criteria. The first one is very high, medium, low, and very low. And then in chapter 4 is data presentation and data analysis. In data analysis, as we can see in the diagram in the screen, is the diagram above point out that 25% of the students score at the interval of 76 until 79 hit the highest percentage in this questionnaire, and then the lowest percentage of the student score and the lowest score is at the interval score 60 until 63, and there is only 1% student in this interval score. And to make it clear, I categorize the students' readiness in blended learning implementation score. As you can see in the table, that the biggest percentage or the highest percentage is 66% with the category is high. So the students' readiness in blended learning implementation at the Department of English Education in Universitas Karyau is at the high category. As stated by Sriwijaya 2020, when the students' learning is supported by the readiness to handle 7 aspects, they will have better to adapt themselves in difficult situation and understand the problem and situation. Therefore, in this high category of their readiness, students can achieve the learning goal and improve their skill and knowledge. And then the last chapter is conclusion and suggestion. So the conclusion is the student readiness in blended learning implementation is in the high category in terms of the readiness of adapting to online learning, readiness to adapting online interaction with their classmates and lecturers, and readiness of technology and digital acquisition, readiness for flexibility in time and place in learning, and readiness for managed students' learning plan, and the readiness for blended learning itself. And then the last one is suggestion. There are 3 suggestions for the students, lecturer, and researchers. For the students, the students can determine their own readiness by acknowledging the aspect that they need to improve the depth of understanding in the lesson, especially for the aspect of learning management. So if in the previous research, the student feel hard to control their self-discipline in time, with knowing the readiness of their learning, they can more enhance their self-discipline and time management. And then the second one is for the lecture. It helps the lecturer and faculty members in enhancing and guiding both the material and the students toward a successful learning process. And then the last one is for the researcher, future researcher, that being reliable and solid references that will be contribute through the results that are discovered from the investigation in the study. So I think it's enough from me. I'm sorry for my mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.